In this video we are going to talk about the Nike stock. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. When I'm looking for fantastic stocks to invest in, I always start with market leaders. After all, organizations at the top of their industry should be doing something right to maintain their position of dominance. Within the sports footwear and clothing market, Nike, NYSE, NKE, is one such corporation. It was able to increase its worldwide athletic footwear market share from roughly 16.8% in 2011 to about 27% in 2019. Despite the temporary shutdown of the majority of its global stores last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Nike managed to achieve a solid performance for fiscal 2020 profits, with revenue declining just 4% year-over-year to $37.4 billion. With the pandemic still raging in many parts of the globe, will Nike be able to navigate the choppy waters and maintain steady growth? Is this enough to make the sports behemoth a good buy? Digital sales momentum. Nike's devotion to digital efforts is one area that sticks out. The corporation spent time, money, and effort developing a robust digital infrastructure that proved to be invaluable when the pandemic struck. Digital sales increased by 84% year-over-year in the second quarter of fiscal 2021, which ended November 30th, with the North America sector seeing triple-digit percentage growth. On the company's most recent earnings call, CEO John Donahoe stated that Nike has now had 3 quarters of 80% year-over-year digital growth, demonstrating the power of its digital platform. During the quarter, the company earned 7 billion brand impressions across various media, indicating that it is aggressively engaging its audience through social media channels. Donahoe believes that the change to online shopping and the use of digital resources is a long-term trend, and that Nike is well positioned to capitalize on it and expand its devoted client base. Innovative product pipeline. Nike is still doing what it does best, producing cutting-edge, inventive products that continue to impress its customers. The basketball sneakers LeBron 18 and Kyrie 7, both of which were warmly welcomed, were released in the second quarter. The company is also growing its maternity clothing range for ladies and wants to expand the sizes available in its children's clothing section. The ZoomX Invincible Run, Nike's most recent product, blends cushioning, stability, and fluid dynamics to create a shoe that promises to protect runners from injury while simultaneously improving their running efficiency. And now, 4 years after introducing the first self-lacing sneakers, Nike is releasing new self-lacing Air Jordan shoes that allow the wearer to personalize their fit and feel. Nike's commitment to renewing its product line and staying one step ahead of the competition is exemplified by this steady stream of new footwear launches. Burgeoning member base. Building a strong membership base is critical for every brand, and Nike excels at it. Nike has acquired more than 70 million new members worldwide since the pandemic began. Donahoe also claims that buying member growth, i.e., members who spend money on Nike's apps, is outpacing new and active member growth, indicating a high level of conversion. Nike launched their first ever Members Days, with exclusive goods and awards for those who took part, resulting in high levels of engagement and sales conversion. This continual interaction with clients will connect them to the business and lead to greater basket sizes over time, while the offer of rewards should encourage members to continue shopping online, boosting digital sales even more. Nike's best days are still ahead. Despite one of humanity's greatest crises in a century, Nike has demonstrated that it still has what it takes to grow. Revenue increased by 4% year-over-year in the first half of fiscal 2021, while net income increased by 12%. Management has announced a 12% raise in its annual dividend to $1.10 per share as a sign of confidence, and the company now has an excellent track record of boosting its payout for 19 years in a row. Nike's best days, in my opinion, are still to come. The company has effectively implemented an omnichannel retail strategy, which comprises both physical and online storefronts. The company can build long-term loyalty by creating a close connection with customers, and the apps make it easier for the company to launch new products and send out tailored marketing and promotional materials. Nike's competitive moat is as wide as it's ever been, and it's a stock you should consider adding to your portfolio. What do the experts have to say about Nike Inc.? The current consensus target price for NKE shares is $164.61 a share, based on thorough and fact-based analysis by Wall Street analysts. Market professionals normally carefully examine target prices and stock performance, and the current Wall Street consensus on Nike stock is a 1.90 recommendation. On a scale of 1 to 5, this rating signifies a strong buy recommendation, with 5 indicating a strong sell, 4 indicating a sell, 3 indicating a hold, and 2 indicating a buy. With their prior recommendation on May 13, 2021, BofA Securities has set an estimate for Nike Inc. shares, retaining their opinion on the stock as neutral. Jefferies boosted their target price from $140 to $192, while keeping the previous rating. On May 11, 2021, a new price target note was released, marking the official price objective for Nike Inc. stock. The target price had previously been raised to $165, with RBC Capital MKT's analysts maintaining an outperform rating on NKE stock. Analysts lowered their price objective for NKE shares from $160 to $140 on April 20, 2021. The average true range, ATR, for Nike Inc. is 2.40, with a price-to-sales ratio of 5.31 over the last 12 months. The prior quarter's price-to-book ratio was 17.23, while the price-to-cash per share was 7.99. NKE had a price-to-free cash flow ratio of 90.82 for the last 12 months, with a quick ratio of 2.00 for the last quarter. What has been the stock performance of Nike recently? With this current performance, NKE shares have fallen -4.15% in the last 4 weeks, -5.18% in the previous 6 months, and had risen 33.17% in the last year of trade. Overbought and oversold stocks can be easily identified using the Relative Strength Index, RSI, with a score of 70 indicating overbought situations and a score of 30 indicating oversold situations. An RSI of 50 indicates that the market is moving in a neutral direction. The current RSI for NKE stock is set at 38.35 for the previous 2 weeks, with the RSI for the latest single day of trade at 31.42, and the 3 weeks RSI at 42.15 for Nike Inc. NKE. For this stock, the current moving average for the last 50 days of trade is 133.53, while it was 131.28 for the last single week and 133.08 for the last 200 days. Nike Inc. A better understanding of the principles. The operating margin of any stock reveals how profitable it would be to invest in it, and Nike Inc. NKE now has an operating margin of +7.40 and a gross margin of +42.47. The current net margin for Nike Inc. is +6.79. Given the recent trend, NKE's return on total capital is presently 16.49, while its return on invested capital is 15.44. This stock's return on equity was 29.70, while its return on assets was 9.22. When it comes to this company's capital structure, Nike Inc. NKE has a total debt to total equity ratio of 161.58. NKE also has a total debt to total capital ratio of 61.77, with a total debt to total assets ratio of 41.53. The company's long-term debt to equity ratio is 152.94, with a long-term debt to total capital ratio of 58.47. Nike Inc. NKE generated an average of $33,674 per employee, reflecting the efficiency of the company's staff. The company's receivables turnover is 10.66%, with a total asset turnover of 1.36%. With a quick ratio of 2.00 and a current ratio of 2.80, Nike Inc.'s liquidity data is equally intriguing. Nike Inc. earnings analysis. According to the company's most recent financial reports, Nike Inc. earned -0.51 share in earnings per share, while analysts expected the average EPS to be 0.07 share. When the two figures are compared, the corporation fails to meet expectations by a surprise factor of -828.60%. The company's progress may be measured in terms of EPS growth rate, with Wall Street analysts concentrating on anticipating NKE's 5-year EPS growth rate. Analysts estimate Nike Inc. will grow its EPS by 40.60% over the next 5 years, according to the mentioned value. Nike Inc. insider trade positions. Institutional investors currently own about $135,226 million in NKE stock, or 83.80% of the company. Vanguard Group Inc. owns 104,163,264 shares of NKE stock, accounting for 0.21% of the company's market cap and 0.20% of total institutional ownership. BlackRock Inc. owns 94,636,902 shares of NKE stock, valued at $12.33 billion, and State Street Corp., valued at $7.17 billion. What are your thoughts on our video? Please let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thank you for watching us.